Life as we know it is changing, and it's changing rapidly. When I tell you, you need to share this video out. I didn't want to do this video at all. And apparently my analytics don't want y'all to know it either, because they will not push my video. But they'll push other people's video, but they won't push my videos. So please hit that like and share this video out. But the world we know it right now, good or bad, however you feel about it, it's about to drastically change. It's already changing as I sit here. They are using eminent domain to take people's homes for data centers. And they're not paying them what it's worth. And if you don't take it, then the government comes in and uses eminent domain, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Hey you guys, my name's Ansley. I live in Coweta County, Georgia. I wanted to come out here and show you guys firsthand what is happening to our county. So as you can see behind me, we have these power lines. Georgia Power is going to expand these lines to support power to the data center. What they're doing to homeowners is they're taking their homes. This is my childhood home behind me. It is being taken by force by Georgia Power. Homeowners in this county do not have a choice. It is called eminent domain, and they will take it.
How this is legal, but nearly 50,000 people in the Lake Tahoe area have been told their utility is going to stop providing power to them because it's being redirected to data centers. The company NV Energy is ending its longtime wholesale contract to supply power to the area. This forces Liberty Utilities, the local provider for approximately 49,000 customers, to scramble for a replacement source for 75% of its electricity by May of next year. The power is being diverted to satisfy unprecedented electricity demand for a massive AI and data center boom in northern Nevada. Major tech giants like Google, Apple, and Microsoft are aggressively building out infrastructure east of Reno at the Tahoe-Reno Industrial Center. 12 upcoming data center projects in northern Nevada are projected to pull 5,900 megawatts of new demand by 2033. To give you an idea of how insane this is, the data center footprint is projected to consume more than 2.8 times the total energy produced by the Hoover Dam. And by 2030, data centers are expected to devour 35% of Nevada's total energy capacity. We're heading towards a large-scale energy crisis. They're willing to cut off people's power supply in order to power these data centers.
I remember asking a question when I did a video on the water supply and the data centers, like who will get priority if we're in a drought, which Georgia is in a drought, along with some other places. Know the answer, which I knew the answer then, but it's very obvious. The data center is more important than the people.
Today, the 55,000 permanent residents of Lake Tahoe, which is one of the biggest and prettiest lakes in the United States, shares borders with both California and Nevada. Residents were told today that actually we're not going to provide you electricity anymore. The Nevada-based power company that is providing electricity to the residents of Lake Tahoe informed them today that, sorry, all the electricity we make, every watt of power that we generate is going to have to go to a nearby data center, and therefore you have until the end of next year to find a new source of electricity, and after that, we can't help you.
Absolutely terrible. The people of Coweta County, Georgia are terrified right now that their properties and their land are going to be taken by Georgia Power. They're going to do it by eminent domain, or at least they're threatening to. Also, they can run these power lines straight through their existing property to supply data centers. But Georgia Power is wanting to build a 35-mile transmission line from Fayette County to Heard County. It's going to cross through Coweta County and through Fulton County, and it's a $1 billion project that's supposed to kick off in 2027. This is going to impact over 330 private properties. There's already 21 homes that they're threatening to take from the people. They're saying if negotiations fail, then they're going to use eminent domain to do so. So they're saying, we will negotiate with you. If you don't like the number we're throwing out, or maybe you just don't want to sell your property, too bad, too sad, we're going to come and take it from you. We're going to rip it from your hands. It doesn't matter the history there. It doesn't matter that your whole family's been there for generations. None of that matters. It doesn't matter that it's yours. It doesn't matter that you don't want to sell it. We are going to use eminent domain, and we're going to come in and we're going to rip it out of your hands, and we're going to take it whether you like it or not. And I'm sure you're wondering, why the heck would they even want to do this? Well, it's to feed the demand for the AI data centers that they're putting up in the area.
They are pushing digital ID now in the UK. Why do you think King Charles came here? This is a plan that sits around the world. Every country is doing this. You see the names right here, but he took someone from Citibank, Apple, Tesla, Cargill, Boeing, BlackRock, Visa, Cisco, Illumina, Coherent, Micron, Qualcomm. I mean, he took so many people. He took Goldman Sachs, GE, and also somebody from Blackstone. This is not a coincidence. This is about control, and they're about to control all of us and try to turn all of us basically into slaves. And you might think I'm crazy for saying this, but what I'm saying is we will be on a social credit just like China. Every country is doing this.
It's time to get serious. Lock in. It's not the full list, but a lot of these people, or who Trump brought with him to China, between Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, I'm going to read it to you. And this is why Trump is currently in China right now with all the tech people, with all of the billionaires. And this is why we need the data centers all of a sudden right now. This is terrifying. This is why the data centers are going up right now. This has been in the works, and probably why the full Epstein files has not been released, because of this. All consumers digitized, evaluated. They get points for certain behaviors. This is the next 10-year plan.
This is what I have been screaming from the top of my lungs. 2028 is going to be the deadline. If it is 2018 when they came up with this, 10 years later is what? Yes, this is happening.
They say if you want our 500 million people buying X, we want Y. And if she says no, Microsoft products, the next day, no Microsoft products sell. So what they're saying is that if people are buying something and the government doesn't want them to buy it, and the head of the person says no more of that, you can't buy it the next day, they will not allow anyone to buy it the next day. It will be blocked. Okay, so it's not like Donald asking people not to buy Toyotas. So it's not like a suggestion by a president to stop buying a certain product and to give his people free will to do it or to not do it. This will not give us a choice for anything. Quote, Bannon, total control. The exact people who pride themselves on chanting small government are the exact people who put this into play.
We have to wake up. We have to get out of the clouds. No pun intended. We have to.
Move towards an AI surveillance state.
What does that mean in reality for the average person?
So for the average person, it means two things. It means digital ID and digital currency. So what that will allow is for the government to basically monitor everything you do online and control all financial transactions. It can basically program your bank account. So like you can't buy cigarettes or you can't buy drugs. And this will allow the government to basically categorize everyone and put everyone into a certain database to monitor that person. And once you're able to categorize everyone, you are able to use AI to predict their behavior.
Isn't this what goes on in some parts of the world?
This is what goes on in China, and that's how I know about this.
How does it work in China?
And then what this allows government to do is basically monitor everything you do. Because basically, depending on how you buy things, I can then extrapolate to figure out your behavior. And then I can figure out your thinking, right? And then I can create incentives in order to guide and control your behavior. Everything you do online is being recorded and it's being inputted into the database to figure out who you are, what you want, and how to control you.
No, and they're running down that road in China now. So in China, for example, God, this is going to happen here, I think, too. Although maybe people will fight it. If a traffic camera catches you jaywalking in China, okay, so the digital ID system has your blood now, has your genetic code, has your photograph. It can identify how you walk. So even if you can't see a face, you can be picked up by gait. It will convict you of jaywalking and take money out of your bank account with no intermediating judiciary at all, and show a picture of you to the people in the neighborhood so they know that you have jaywalked, and reduce your social credit score.
And if you think they are not doing this right now, they really are. I just helped my son move into his new apartment today. Something interesting he said to me was, well, we just went right into the parking lot. We didn't have to, flash anything or anything. We just went in and we parked. Well, they have on the wall in the elevator, we are renovating the parking lot. So they will have to use a QR code to scan themselves to get into the parking lot. They already have a card that they have to scan the door to get entry. So imagine if they take your social credit score down. Now you can't even get into your own apartment where your belongings are. You are essentially homeless.
If your social credit score falls below a certain level, then you can't buy drinks from a vending machine. You can't play video games. You can't go on a train. You can't get out of your 15-minute city. All that's already in place in China.
When we visited China, this shocked us. Everywhere we went and traveled, like hotels, trains, and even tourist attractions.
And here you have facial recognition.
Our faces were scanned, and just like that, our personal details popped up on a computer screen, passports and all. In China, a digital score decides what rights you get. A good score brings good benefits. A low score, well, you can lose everything. People branded untrustworthy are blacklisted. Their names and addresses plastered on cinema screens for public shame, and over 23 million people are already on that list. And once you're blacklisted, life stops. You can't buy train tickets, get a bank loan, rent an apartment, or even send your kids to a private school. One journalist was banned from traveling just for investigating corruption.
I worry because I think many people like me will be deprived of individual freedom.
As parents, we have to ask this question. Is this protecting families, or is this the first step towards a digital dictatorship?
Switzerland approved their digital ID system by referendum, and rollouts are already on the horizon. It's being marketed to civilians as quote-unquote secure and optional. But it's the same foundation as all the others. Centralized data tied to your every move.
Everywhere she goes, Ouyang Haoyu is followed. What she buys, how she behaves, is tracked and scored to show how responsible and trustworthy she is. It's called the social credit system, and in one version now being tested, a person's reputation is scored on a scale of 350 to 950. And Haoyu, with a good score of 752, is okay with it. In fact, most people are.
It's a mechanism like pushes you to become a better citizen.
It's big data meets Big Brother, expanding how the government monitors, understands, and ultimately controls its 1.4 billion citizens. Thanks to advances in artificial intelligence and facial recognition, and a web of more than 200 million surveillance cameras, experimenting with the algorithms to help the government create the new national social credit system. The government also has pilot projects. In one, citizens are required to do hours of unpaid work to get benefits. And scores are docked for things like littering, a messy yard, gossip, even jaywalking. Video of offenders is shown on the local news. And information collectors like Zhou Aini are paid to report on their neighbors. Her quota, 10 entries a month.
Oh yes, your picture is shown for everybody to see, like you took somebody's life. You are now a criminal. Your neighbors are telling on you, good or bad. Well, you know she did this or that. How's that not considered gossip? I mean, what is happening? And we are adopting everything that China is doing.
Like the man who carried a drunk person home. A good deed, she says. Good social credit gets rewarded with perks like cheap loans and travel deals. But a bad score means public shame and worse.
They're determined to control every part of our life. Leave your comments and hit that like button. And please hit that hype button. Because pretty soon, and because they're already working on this, you won't get videos like this. You get foolishness. You won't get videos like this. They're going to control everything, and that means media. That means your programming. Because in the near future, we won't even have cable TV. What you need that for? All you need is one channel, just like in China. And they tell you what they want you to know. People in China don't get information like this. People in China who try to call them out are put on a blacklist. A lot of us are going to be put on a blacklist. The good news is, for those of us who believe in Jesus Christ and that he is returning, and he is returning with wrath for all of those who are doing the things that they're doing right now and not following him, we will be with him. That's the only good news in this.
So the U.S. has sent a nuclear-powered Ohio-class missile submarine to the Middle East. Now let me remind you that China and Russia are friends with Iran. And remember the other day Trump threatened to nuke Iran. This makes sense if the seals are about to be opened and the tribulation is about to start. Because after the Antichrist is revealed, guess what happens next? And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So if y'all think the wars that have been going on have been crazy already, just wait until tribulation starts. And then what happens after that, or in the midst of it? And when he opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." Back in the day, a penny or a denarius was a day's wage. So around this time, wheat and barley are going to be super expensive. The worst time for wheat, U.S. farmers face losses to extreme heat and drought. Not only do we have major droughts in the U.S., we also have wildfires going crazy. And not only do we have drought and wildfires, we also have this war going on, which is making everything increase, including fertilizer. As Iran crisis drags on, fears of global food catastrophe grow. Not only does the second seal already look like it's about to happen, the third seal looks like it's about to happen. Let's read about the fourth seal. "And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth." Incoming the hantavirus. Not only that, but there's a norovirus outbreak somewhere. There's these ticks that are getting spread everywhere, spreading Lyme disease and alpha-gal syndrome. We have the Genesis mission, aka the beast system, getting implemented, and they've set everything up for Project Bluebeam to be implemented. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about, go watch my previous videos. No time in history has all these things been lining up perfectly in time for what is coming. We literally have the technology for the beast system. There are people still out there acting like all of this is normal, when they're literally talking about putting mini data centers in your backyard.
Did you know your house can now become a data center and it's paying you for it? NVIDIA just partnered with Span and Pult Group, one of Charlotte's largest builders, to test a distributed AI network using XFRA units. These are small, silent, liquid-cooled boxes mounted outside your home. Inside are 16 high-powered NVIDIA Blackwell chips that run AI computing in the background, using your home's unused electrical capacity.
You just bought a house. You signed the papers, you got the keys, and now you own it. Except there's something on the outside wall that you didn't put there. It's a white box about the size of an AC unit. It's quiet, no noise, but inside that box are 16 NVIDIA GPUs, 3 terabytes of memory, a Dell server rack that by NVIDIA's own math represents $1 million in infrastructure assets. But you don't own that box. This is where it's going. Everything that you own, including the home that you're making payments on, folded into a cloud-connected system that you don't control and that you can't exit. This isn't a concept. Pulte Group, one of the largest home builders in America, has already deployed these in multiple communities. $1 billion AI data center to the outside of your house. NVIDIA supplied the hardware. A startup called Span built the system, and they're embedding it into every new construction home before most buyers know that this category even exists. Your property, using your power, running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the cloud providers all around the world. But first, here's how it works. Your home likely has a 200 amp electrical panel. On average, you're using less than half of it at any given time. Span figured out how to monetize the half that you're not using. They install their smart panel. It monitors your consumption in real time. Whatever capacity that you're not drawing, it routes to the AI node that's on the outside of your home. The node runs constantly. It's described in their own documentation as an always-on load. Now, they install a whole home battery alongside the node. Now, most people hear that and think, wow, backup power, emergency preparedness. That's for me. Read the white paper. The battery exists to protect the compute workload during outages, to keep the data center node running. When your power goes out, the battery kicks in for the NVIDIA hardware first. You get what's left.
I still can't believe there's people out there actually thinking all this already happened. Like Jesus is over there in Jerusalem right now and we can go see him. A lot of people do not read their Bibles. Everyone really needs to wake up because Jesus could come at any day now. If you do not have a relationship with Jesus Christ, you need to get one today. The Bible says that if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe that he died, was buried, and rose again for the remission of your sins, you will be saved. Don't wait until it's too late.
This company was out and they were marking the gas lines, and I found that odd. And then today I walk out and there's a bunch of surveyors outside. So I had asked the guy, like, oh, what are they doing something with the gas lines? He's like, no, we're digging up so that we can put wiring down, essentially power lines, so that they can power the data centers that they're building. Data centers at, and he said in New Jersey, which is not that close to me, like it's over the bridge by like 20 minutes. And I said, and they're digging all the way out here. He said, yeah, they're doing it all around here. Fairless Hills, Bristol, Middletown.
The latest electric bill that you can remember paying.
Our latest was $593. Last month it was $603.
Right now, a company behind a massive data center in Georgia used 30 million gallons of water in Fayetteville, Georgia, never paid for it until being called out. And as a result, now Georgia residents have to literally conserve water. The new bombshell report from Politico exposes the impacts of this massive data center in a community in Georgia. People in a subdivision in Fayetteville, Georgia noticed that their water pressure was unusually low. What happened was the data center that was built right nearby used nearly 30 million gallons of water from that neighborhood, ran up a bill of over $150,000, and never paid for it. When it was called out, the company blamed a, quote, procedural mix-up, paid the total, and received no extra fees. They're being told to scale back their water usage. But a data center was able to use 30 million gallons of water.
I don't cry anymore.
Sure.
I'm just exhausted from it.
Every house requirement that they want is leveled.
Joy and Jean Van Loo are a fifth-generation farming family in New Carlisle, Indiana.
How's your water situation here?
Tainted. It tastes weird. It's just not the same.
Do you think it has to do with the data center, the construction?
Well, yeah, they have them two 24-inch pipes pumping water across the street over here. They're dewatering, as they call it, so they can put the foundations in.
They went months ago about Musk's XAI data center in Memphis.
Now, Rockefeller went to XAI to see that they had 35 gas turbines operating and polluting our air.
Why isn't this video being shown tonight?
The reason? The developers behind that XAI facility, Phoenix Investors, is now trying to secure a tax break for a new data center in this small Indiana town.
Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow.